Hi, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video today, which was basically going to be about spots and where they appear on your face and what they mean, which I will do. So check that out once I've uploaded this. That will be also available. But I'm going to do a video about the title to be Love Me or Hate Me, Whatever, which I literally saw someone saying on their YouTube videos, which was kind of probably just an off-the-cuff remark, but it resonated with me, and I thought, this is the way to live life, because the truth of life is that not everyone's going to like you, and that is a great thing to keep in mind, but to live with the mindset of love me or hate me, whatever, it's very empowering to go through life with that attitude before anything else, because you can sit around and wait for people to have an aversion to you, or you can use that energy waiting to live your best life and put your first foot forward before other people are going to reject you first. Like, I'm not saying it's not a normal human reaction to scan a situation for safety reasons, as part of our humanity, to not want to sort of intrude. Like, I'm not saying go into a situation and like get loads of people to hate you or whatever, but having this attitude of love me or hate me, whatever, is just like, you know, some people will love you, and for being a free-spirited person, they will love you even more, that you feel confident in yourself and be like, hey, that person is like worth talking to because they actually have their feet on the floor, they're not insecure. Or like, I've definitely got issues with insecurity and what's the word, just like assertiveness in a situation, and it's like, the fact is, not everyone's going to love you, not everyone's going to hate you, and you know, there's a variety of people in the world, and I'm definitely of the mindset, especially recently, that you're not supposed to understand everyone's level, you're not supposed to sympathise with everyone's level. I definitely think there's a level of sympathising with some people that you can have, but I don't think I'm supposed to sympathise with everyone. There's a reason that people disagree, and there's a reason that we only have the capacity to deal with certain people. I know lockdown's kind of made us all segregated, and whether this will be valid in 6 months' time, I don't know. But my current mindset, I mean, you just go mad if you literally try to consider everyone's position. I think we only have a certain level of capacity to take into account someone else's mindset, and especially being self-employed, like I'm working on my own, I have a great deal of time to sort of ruminate on this. Not ruminate, but just sort of like solidify this in my own mind, because you have to just sometimes take the plunge in life. Like, I can only relate to my driver's lessons, that sometimes when you're swapping lanes or, you know, pulling forward in a car, do you know what I mean? If you can't wait for everyone around you to sort of drive around you and kind of plod along, you have to sort of take the plunge sometimes and pull out on you know, from a parking space or whatever. And you have to do that in life sometimes, and you can't just sit around like being like, who's like, because I think some people are so insecure, and people, I'm going to bring up narcissist again, trigger warning, and not say that I don't have narcissistic traits, everyone has narcissistic traits, but I'm saying if you're narcissistic, you might be insecure for certain reasons, and this could be a projection of me trying to, you know, make up for my narcissistic traits. I'll put that out there, just in case I watch it back and it seems to be that way. But if you are of that narcissistic persuasion, and you know, you can be insecure, like you could just be like very, very protective of your ego. You could be like, I don't want to do anything in case anyone rejects me or they think, you know, bad things about me and blah blah blah. But you can't live your life like that. Like, you will be paralysed by anxiety if nothing else. So my inner psychopath is emerging, and my, you know, low level of anxiety side is emerging, and just saying, I want to give a fuck less. I want to be able to, you know, be in a group and kind of be comfortable around other people without worrying too much. You know, there's a sense of worrying too much, I feel like. I don't know, like, I think people just should worry less, and I'm always like, because of my age or whatever, and I don't know, but I feel like I've always gone recently through life thinking, you know, I've kind of waited until a situation has fully happened and I kind of get what someone's like before I actually make a judgment on them. But I think now I'm more aware of different people and personality styles and blah blah blah, it's okay to make snap judgments about people for like time, you know, time management and stuff like that, and you don't have to hear everyone out. You're not like some sort of like saint. You don't have to hear everyone out and all of their, you know, issues and blah 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 before you make like a snap judgment of them. You can make a snap judgment beforehand. Not to say like you shouldn't give people a level of respect and like you should like degrade them or anything. That's not what I'm saying, but I feel like making a judgment about someone is fine. Especially if they come across obnoxious or someone that you don't see yourself investing time into. It's okay to be like, okay, and keep yourself at a distance to protect yourself in the future, because I think it's definitely discernment at different times in life that kind of allow this to emerge in different people. But I've come across so many people now in life and lots of different personality styles that I kind of know what to waver towards and what to waver against. And I think when you come across someone that you want to waver against, just hold yourself back and be able to. But then again, if you go across people that you feel attracted towards talking to, be comfortable and don't be worried about being judged by people that aren't, you know, of that persuasion and don't agree with you, because you're your own person at the end of the day. You have a right to speak, you have a right to voice your opinions, you have a right to be, you know, vocal about what you feel. And your throat chakra is not just about talking, it's about feeling your inner truth and, you know, being able to express that through yourself. You know, I'm not talking about the fact that obviously humility is very important, and knowing when to shut your mouth, I definitely think is important. But it's okay to be impulsive at times. It's okay to not have to worry about what everyone else is thinking. And this is probably just a repercussion from lockdown and everyone just being so antisocial for so long that everyone just cared way too much what other people thought, and like, you know, got pissed off by the smallest things with so many people. I feel like that's my experience of lockdown. I used to just get pissed off with so many people. I'm sure loads of people got pissed off with me because we're all in like flight mode. But I guess it's just coming out of that and being like, you know what, like, I don't give a fuck whether you have a dirty look at me. I'll happily let you know, or I'll happily ignore you if that's something that you feel is something that you want to do. However you want to react, you can just react. Like, you know, I feel like once you get out that energy that needs to be released, it's going to be released anyway, but get it out because you feel so much better. And it's okay. The repercussions are always okay. Like, you know, you will never go unseen by God. Like, life will always be fine. I've noticed. I've felt like things have been the end of the world in the past, and they're really not the end of the world. You think they are, but they're not. And life goes on, and life is fine, and life is better because you've removed that person from your life, or you've removed that situation from your life, or you've ditched that way of being for whatever reason, and you've evolved and you've grown and you're improved and you've dropped off your edges, as my mum puts it. Half of your, you know, parts of yourself are released because you kind of come to the end of that cycle and you don't need to be like that anymore because you've learned from it, you've learned what you need to learn. So going through life with a love me or hate me whatever attitude, you know, I'm not going to get it tattooed on my forehead, but I kind of want to in a certain aura. And I think it's about engaging with your inner like bitch sometimes and not really giving a fuck what you know the opposition has to say about it, because it's okay to be a fiery bitch and be a badass bitch and whatever. Before lockdown, people talk about badass bitches and whatever. I need that to come back. I think through, you know, people that have sucked the life out of me in the last however long. Obviously, yes, we have also been in a pandemic, but people that have sucked the life out of me have taken that bad bitch, or just, you know, given her a lesser spot than she deserves, and she needs to be back. And love me or hate me, whatever, is going to be the new attitude of life for me. And I think it's a good place to be in. It's very freeing. It's like, you don't have to explain yourself. This is the honest truth. You don't have to explain yourself to people. And I noticed that if people want you to explain, like if you have a close relationships, I'm not saying you should walk around life like, you know, being entitled or necessarily. You can at sometimes. Think about the amount of people. I think, put things in perspective. Think about the amount of people that are entitled on the planet, okay? Think about... By the way, this is really cute, isn't it? I have to say. It's a horseshoe and it says on it, always believe that something beautiful is about to happen. So anyway, so I always think you have to put things into a ratio perspective, as in, think about the amount of entitled people in the world. They say about 15 to 20% of people are narcissistic, okay? Or narcissists, purely, in the dark triad, and they aren't mixed. And think about how entitled they are, okay? Therefore, I believe that 15% of the time, I wouldn't say 15% of the time, I say I can be entitled if I want to, because of their entitlement. That then allows me to then be entitled, because to make up for it, if you know what I mean. Just to balance life out a bit. So being very segregated in lockdown, I haven't really thought about this way of being, and maybe haven't solidified that thought in my mind. Probably just did it naturally. Just goes for people that are, you know, I can't think of specific things, but you have to just weigh up, like, you're not responsible for everyone else. Like, you're not responsible, and I don't know who I'm talking to here, whether I'm just talking for myself or only myself is listening, but you're not responsible for other people. You're not responsible for, you know, I think if someone wants you to explain yourself, it's about thinking, where's that coming from within them? I don't have to explain myself to you. It depends what scenario you're in, you know. There's different jobs that require different levels of communication and blah blah blah. But I think even from a rule of life, like if someone wants you to explain yourself about something that you're, you know, within your rights to do, what place is that coming from within them? Why would you need to explain yourself for something like that? If needs must, you can explain yourself if that's something you choose to do, but you have the right to say, I don't need to explain myself, it's what I'm doing. And giving off that demeanour so they don't even ask you to. Because if you don't put up your bad bitch front, or I always say, be dangerous and then you don't have to. Like, if you can be dangerous, you don't have to. And it's a sense of danger to be a bad bitch and just to be like, I don't need to explain myself. Like, I don't need to answer to you, like, you're not above me, kind of thing. Because we all have a right, and some people will, covert narcissists, will try and take your rights away from you, and it's not okay. Some creepy men will try and take your rights away from you and make you feel uncomfortable and, you know, put their misogynistic weirdo sides towards you. It's not okay. Stand up for your rights. Contact the police. Get a restraining order. You know, there's so many ways to go about difficult people in life, and the legal system is there for a reason. But don't give two fucks what people think when they're not your friends, when they're not people that you respect. Because if you don't respect them, they might not respect you, and therefore their opinions don't matter. People that mind don't matter, and people that matter don't mind. And some people, I honestly don't know if this is the case, but I'm not sure if it's the case that maybe just people that I don't like their ways of being, maybe they have people that don't mind what they're like. But it wouldn't surprise me if certain people don't like what they're like at all. But then everyone has good and bad sides. Let me not digress and start digressing to ramble. But the fact is, honestly, I've got to the point in life where I'm just like, if you dislike me, especially if you're of the narcissistic persuasion, great, you're off my radar. I feel like there's a certain caliber of people. They say you attract what you are, and if you're not in my vibration, and you're not in a vibration that I can relate to, and you dislike my vibration, then great, you've gotten yourself out of the way of my you know, lineup. You've taken yourself out of the lineup. Great, thank you. You know, that's the mentality I want to go back to, because, you know, lockdown's just been in a place where, like, anyone, I felt like at one point was, like, better than no one, do you know what I mean? But there's 7 billion people on this planet. I don't need to deal with people that aren't in my realm, that aren't for me. Go away, those people. Come in, the people that are supposed to. Or don't. When you're ready, come into my life, you know what I mean? Situations that aren't for me, they don't need to be there. I don't need to put up with toxic bosses. I have my own business, which I love, you know? And yeah, a bit of food for thought, a bit of rant for the day, a bit of gumption. Whoever's got this far, thank you and well done. Thanks, bye.